Hello and welcome back to another Grand Cross Age of Titans video. In today's video, we're going to be going over all of the open field marches that I have seen or I have used, and what kind of commander pairings you should be looking at. So, as you know, a week and a half ago, our parallel world ended, and the update came out, and they said that they plan to release KVK in the near future, so we're expecting somewhere in the mid-December range. And I can finally create this video. So there was a whole bunch of different pairings and everything. So let's kind of go through a little bit more of the same thing. So I know that we did talk about some of it during some of the testing that I was doing, with Lord, Phoenix, and Gabe. We were kind of going through, Galahad and Hiei with Krishna, Valkyrie, Bella. There's some of these commanders over here. But let's take a look at kind of everything right now. So we're going to go from, space to space. So we're going to do the siege unit, then we're going to do archers, infantry, and cavalry. So it's all going to be separated. So as always, the actual only commander that you're able to use combat engineer, I call them siege, I'm just stuck in our okay terms, would be Freya. And then we also have the new commander who is Envy, and it looks like he is a siege commander with combat engineer, so he's going to be more or less for rallying. I don't know how good he is in the open field. So we all know that Envy, Roy, Edward, Riza, and then Lust have come out into the game, and in our server right now, we are in... Oops, that's the wrong one. We're in the second phase of this, which is the version 2, which I'm currently saving my summons. I'm going to try and do somewhat of a video pulling for Riza. I don't know how good she is or anything of the sort yet, but we will see how this goes. So I'm going to kind of stay away from the new commanders just because we haven't tested them. We haven't tested them in a battling scenario yet. I do plan to fully test Lust here pretty quick. I might do her live in the next couple days. Just depending on everyone's schedule and who is able to hop on a call with me to test. So, Envy aside, the only other really, I guess, other commander that you can really put in there is Ramses, but I don't really know. I don't use combat engineers personally, and I don't think I ever will. But if anyone else knows anything else, I mean, I use my combat troops to farm. That is it. I will not throw them in anything. Sometimes I'll use my tier 1. As you guys know, I always have a tier 1 army, just to throw them in there to drop some power, etc., etc. But I don't really have that many. I'm down to 682,000 compared to what I had not too long ago. So let's go ahead and move into archer soldiers here. We also have the specialty unit, which is balloons, which you need to use your archers in order to throw them into balloons. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of this. So depending on where you are, if you're a high spender or just a complete whale, you're able to build your archers into bombers, which is probably the most overpowered unit currently in the game. Many of the 17 and I think it was 16 whales were using bombers to counter our rallies once we let it get down below half, just because we didn't have the fillers or something of the sort for that. But at the same time, depending on where you are in your general tier listing here, it's not going to completely work because you need tier 4 to unlock your bombers, and then you need to unlock your tier 5 archers in order to get the tier 5 bombers. So I'm just going to specifically talk about the archers portion. So personally, Melody is a great archer. A lot of us do use her, and a lot of us use her primary, even though that she's a support. Just because we haven't really seen a massive archer go in. I know Belly and Melody is a pretty darn good pairing for the bombers. I do not know how well Belly and Melody perform together in the archer stance. So that is definitely one pair that you can do. Personally, I do Malabi and either Hiei or I will throw in Jang. If you are someone who went for Alicia, Alicia is another really good primary choice for archers, and then you could always throw Malabi behind it. Or if you wanted to split Malabi and Alicia up to where you could have two rallies with each having a legendary commander leading, you could use something like Alicia and, you know, maybe Hiei, Finn for more speed, or Jang for support, just like Malabi. Personally, I've been using Lust as a primary since she is a combination commander, and then doing Malabi behind her. I've only, like I said, I've only tested her in Demon Extermination and the special event, which is the Gluttony Extermination, and they've performed very well as that combination. And they also do decently well in the Arena, which I have not done. I don't like Arena. So another okay archer pairing is if you're really low, you don't really have any of your archers worked, you just want something to throw on the field. Finn, really good at fast movements, can stay in the back, will be able to pick stuff off. He's not super strong, he's not tanky either. We're looking at someone like Iris or Reno, who's really tanky and is able to take a lot of damage and still hold out. Maybe even throwing Krishna behind there just for the healing factor or just the barrier, but I'm not sure. I really haven't tested any of that stuff out yet. Pretty much what I've seen mainly on the open field, besides the bombers, which I just don't know, is infantry and cavalry. A lot of these are used for garrison and rallying as well, besides a couple of the insane rally leads, which I mentioned in a video previously. So let's take a look at infantry. So Iris is definitely not a primary commander. She should stay secondary, other than defending anything. So the best current that has been tested is Arthur and Iris, with a max Arthur or ignoring this troop size and going for the Excalibur skill, so a 5-5-1-5 with a Iris defend as the secondary. So Arthur provides a lot of attack and Iris provides a lot of defense, which makes them a beautiful combination. You can also do something like a Claudia with Jeanette. I know a lot of us use Jeanette for infantry as their primary target. You also have... where'd they go? Who am I thinking of? Maybe there isn't another purple. No, I'm almost positive there's another purple. Infantry. Canis. So Canis is the infantry and attack unique, along... I don't know how powerful Roxana is behind as a secondary. She's one of the few that I have not really tested, other than with just some of the crazy open field pairings that we've seen. But I'd imagine a Canis and Roxana wouldn't do too good if you did not have any of your other commanders really worked. Or you're focusing on just a different tier, you just want another march just to throw out there, which that also makes you lose some resources. Let's take a look and see what else we could do. That's really it. A lot of people don't really work Corvo. I haven't personally because of that HP, but he does have a barrier, he heals, and he does have an 800% skill damage, and then his barrier increases with a additional 3% chance. But yeah, I don't know. We also don't know very much about Edward. I know some players are starting to test Edward, but we just don't have the stuff to test them yet. We don't have the scenarios unless you're really doing what I'm doing and spending an hour and a half testing with every single different commander pairing that you can think of, and you have him, at least close to awakened. Archers is another very, very strong one. So I kind of do something weird. I use Sekhmet and Biam. I know Sekhmet is a hunt commander, but she typically trades very, very well with Biam in the open field. I don't know if it's just because players are using different combinations or a thought process than what I have come up with my old teammates in Kingdom 15. Another one is, where are we at? So we can do a Rena. I like Rena secondary. And then I will throw her with Agnes as a primary. Agnes, once again, has that attack buff where Rena does a lot of tankiness. You could also do something along the lines of, let me take a look here. So we have Numa. Numa is surprisingly a very good secondary to Biam for rallying, like I mentioned. I don't know how well they would be in the open field, but with just a little bit of that extra speed that Numa does provide, I guess it'd be pretty darn good. As you can tell, I am just starting to work on my Isaac. I know a lot of players really do like the Isaac Rena march, and then they will put someone like Sekhmet with Agnes, or that march vice versa. You also have a bunch of different options down here, so if you want to do something with a little bit more speed, you can throw in Galahad. You can even throw in Jeanette, or throw in Bella. Bella is a great unique hero. Like I said, when I say, they're a great unique hero, technically legendary with a whale is going to crush any unique, but then again, circumstance and everything of the sort. That's kind of it for whoever I use for Cavalry wise. Some of the different combinations that I do sometimes throw in, I will throw on the open field. I will use a Krishna, and then I will throw Destina out there. And I'll typically try to throw those ones in as a primary, just because of how much tankiness they do. So if I actually go into here and set my troops, let's go into my multi-troop. My first one here is Jenna Iris, Arthur Claudia, Rena Agnes, Sekhmet Biam, and Melabi and Hiei as bombers, which is a great march. I love it. And then I also have my secondary backup, which puts Krishna and Destina, which this is the one that I use primary. Although as soon as I work Arthur up to a awakened legendary, he will go in front of Jeanette. And then I need to switch my Rena and Agnes around. That's probably why they got smacked so easily. But especially with Riza coming in, I might have to make a third one and just kind of look at what I need and what I got. So that is kind of what I'm looking at for commander pairings until we really take a look and test the newer commanders that have come. I know that there's going to be probably more coming in the near future, as some of the earlier servers have tested this, but we will not know until they come out. I'm not going to make any stipulations or anything of the sort. So like I said, if you have used any other combinations that you've seen that have worked, great. If you know anything about the actual bombers or the, I don't even know what these things are. What are these things called? The steel catapults. Please let me know in the comments below. Maybe you used that and it was incredible. So if you made it to this point in the video, I appreciate you guys very much. I plan to keep uploading as many videos as I can, and starting next week, I will start to venture out in, some of my different games that I do play, and seeing what I can do for content-wise, what you guys like, what you guys don't. So consider subscribing. Please like the video and leave a comment below, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.